until 9/11 happened.
Right.
And because where I'm from, we knew people that were in the buildings that day. And it really broke me. And when I say broke me, it actually, when I was watching it on TV, I actually crumbled into the couch. And I actually cried out to the Lord. I said, Lord, I've been taking life for granted for so long. I said, Lord, just please give me a second chance, third or sixth chance in the military. I want to dedicate the rest of my life and my career to helping people that can't help themselves. And I called my company commander, I called my first sergeant, and even though they busted me from E4, all the way back down again, they decided to keep me because they said they seen something different in me.
Yeah.
So they did keep me. Within 3 years, I became a soldier of the year. I became a non-commissioned officer. So I really went from being the crap soldier to being the super soldier within a 3-year period.
Yeah.
And one thing I learned about my second stint in the military, even in business, that you stick with the winners. Success leaves clues. So the first day I got back and they let me back in, I decided just to sit back and I watched what everybody did. And I seen, like all the higher ranks, they would get there an hour and a half, 2 hours early, stay an hour and a half late. And all the, the E1s, all the lower ranks, they would all go home. So then I started thinking, you know what, I'm going to start sticking with these guys because they're doing something that I'm not doing. Obviously, what I'm doing is not working. Yeah. So I started, I became like a little puppy and I started following all the captains and the colonels. And eventually it pushed me further because once I started seeing, I started doing what they started doing. That's when I started succeeding, when I started, following the success clues.
Yeah. I think I might know the answer to this question, but what's the best piece of advice you've ever had?
It's probably going to be different than you're thinking. It's two things: stay humble and stay teachable. Well, if you're those two things, you can be very successful in life. If you just stay humble and stay teachable, because I don't think there's any CEO in this world would ever turn you down if you just sat down and said, sir, I love everything you're doing. Can you tell me a little bit about how you're doing it? There's nobody who's going to turn that down. How can you? So if you stay humble, like I said, well, yeah, we got 100,000 downloads. Yeah, but I got to take out the garbage. It's Friday night. So stay humble, and people will teach you if you ask them. Like I'm still asking questions. I need help. I'm doing this. I don't know how to do that. But if you're not teachable, then you can't really learn. Even, that's one thing I love about Tom Brady. He gets mad when he's not being coached. He wants to be coached. So when you get somebody that's the greatest of all time wanting to be coached, that's being teachable. Yes. Why do I have to wear a hat on every single podcast that I go on?
So, Rich, why do you have to wear a hat on every single podcast you go on?
Well, it's not because I'm going bald. But when I first started on this journey 5 or 6 years ago, me and my wife went to go see the movie, The Last American Sniper. And he was Chris Kyle. He was the greatest sniper that we ever had in the United States. But he lost his life trying to help somebody struggling with PTSD. So I went home. I was so moved. I cried for like an hour. I actually got in touch with his wife. And I said, from now on, whatever show I go on, I'm going to wear a hat in honor of your husband, Chris. And I'm going to talk about him on every show that I do. This way, his honor doesn't get forgotten, but also let people know out there are people out there like Chris and myself that are up to willing, giving our life to you, for you, to know that you're not alone. You never have to be alone again as long as I'm alive. So I think that's why I wear a hat, just to give honor to Chris, but also to remind me, to let people know that you're not alone. There's people out there like me and you that'll take the arrows for you, even if you're still weak, and we'll help you up.